This is Dr. Herbert Harris, and this is Success Mentorship Call number 149. Wow. 149. And our topic for today is time, your most valuable asset. Let me say that again. Time, your most valuable asset. Thank you so many for joining us on Instagram and on Facebook. I'd like to open with a thought, and really this is based on our book, and open with a spiritual principle. And this idea of time and your most valuable asset is taken from chapter 8 of our book, Solving the 12 Universal Laws of Success, which of course is available on Amazon. Be sure to get the Super Achiever edition. And on our own website, www.12, that's the number 12uls.com. So chapter 8, the law of value, we're looking at page 147. And there's a spiritual principle stated there. And it says, give not that which is holy unto the dogs, neither cast your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn again and attack you. That's a translation of it, but it gives us an idea that time, that thing that we're going to be talking about today, is your most valuable asset. It's something that, let me tell you, it's a God-given asset. So before we go into our lesson today, let us center ourselves with our meditation. So sit right up in your seats. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Hold it. Let it out slowly. Take a deep breath. Hold it. Let it out slowly. And let us say, I am at peace with myself. Once more. I am at peace with myself. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. And in this state of peace, my mind is open, receptive, and ready to learn. Let us affirm that together. My mind is open, receptive, and ready to learn. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. And so it is. Wow. Thank you. Thank you for being here today. Today, our topic is really a continuation of our process of helping us all get through this new year with incredible, outrageous success in every regard, in every respect. William Penn had a beautiful quote, and it said, time is what we want most, but what we use worst. Let me say that again. Time is what we want most, but we use worst. That's an awesome quote. And it's so very, very true. We all want more time, but so often we don't use the time that we have in the best way. You know, Einstein talked about the time and space continuum, that there's an aspect of existence, and the two aspects of existence are time and space, that idea of a spatial recognition, that things happen in space over time. And so from a cosmological point of view, there's this bigness, this space, and these events take place over time in that space. So let us look at this. What is time? There are great definitions of time. You know, the dictionary says that time is the point or period at which things occur. Time is the point or period at which things occur. Interesting. So when you have time is awareness of occurrence. When we think about that, then if time is when things occur, then there are two aspects to look at. There are 2 points of consciousness when we deal with time. There's now and there's then. And so really all of our life is about what we do now to create the world that we want to experience then. Seems very simple, doesn't it? But it really is. The time that we have right now is the seed from which the then we experience tomorrow and the next day, from which our lives, as which our lives manifest. Superimposed between now and then is the concept next. So we literally move through our lives from now to then by what we do now and what we do next. When we break it down like that, it really gives us a very simple recipe to follow. Maximize the use of what we do right now. Do what is next to take us to the then we want to experience. And then just keep doing it over and over and over. We have some other people joining us on, okay, Dawn, thank you, welcome. Those of you who are a member of the Success Mentorship Network, we have a, great. Okay, we have the Success Mentorship Network, and we'll tell you about that in a little bit. But this is an online live broadcast. While we're doing this right now, we have a group of people who are waiting to discuss what we talk about today. So I'll tell you about how you can get involved with that later. But let's move on. So time is really a gift. Time is a gift from the Creator. Let's look at this a little further. There are 2 aspects of time. There are 2 types of time. There's clock time. And clock time is that those, you might say, objective definition of time. In other words, there's 60 seconds in a minute. There's 60 minutes in an hour. There are 24 hours in a day. There are 30 days in a month. So the clock time is the metrics of time. But the time that really matters is real time. And real time is relative. Real time is relative to what you do and your level of consciousness at that particular point in time and space. What do I mean? You're sitting at the traffic light, traffic is backed up, and 5 minutes feels like a lifetime. You're sitting there fidgeting. So clock time says it was only 5 minutes. But real time says, man, I'm so impatient. I got so many things to do. You look around again now at your children, for example. Clock time may say 12 years have occurred. But in real time, you look at your 12-year-old and you go like, where'd you come from? I remember when you were a little baby in my hands. You seem to grow up so fast. So this idea of real time, the relative time, is really the time that we're talking about. Clock time really has, that's just, clock time is like the distance from Wilmington, North Carolina to New York, roughly 600 miles. Okay. It stays 600 miles. It does not change. But if I want to get from Wilmington to New York, I can walk, which probably take months. That's a real-time activity. I can drive, it will take 12 to 15 hours, a real-time activity. I can fly. And so when we look at real time is really about choice. You choose what to do with the now, the time you have available. Let's take this in a spiritual context. In the good book, it talks about the creation of the world, and it says, in the beginning, there was the void, there was nothing. And then the Spirit moved upon the void. The Spirit of God moved upon the void, and then there was something. So in our lives, we really circulate between 2 things, between is and is not. And so in some ways, our life may be a void measured by clock time, but our experience of life is what we do in that void, how we move upon the void to create the life that we desire. The Creator, and we're not speaking religious, every spiritual principle has a source. Every spiritual training, discipline has a source. And so the source, the Creator, gives us a gift. In other words, the moment we are created, we experience time. So then time is the ultimate gift from the Creator. Think about the parable of the talents. In the talents, it says that the master gave each one of his servants, one servant he gave 1 talent, another servant he gave 2 talents, another servant he gave 5 talents. And when the master came back to account, to have each servant account for what he had done with the talents, the one with 5 talents had worked those talents, and he had 10. The master said, well done. The one who had 2 talents worked his talents, and he had 4. The master said, well done. The one who had 1 talent buried that talent. He said, you are a challenging master. You're disciplined, and I didn't want to lose it. So I buried it and did nothing with it. And the master cursed him and took that talent away. Time is the ultimate talent given each and every one of us. The Creator gives us time, clock time, for us to make choices, real time, on how we want our life to be. We literally create the life of our dreams from the way we use our time. This talent that we've been given, this time gift, is the ultimate gift, and how we utilize that time gift determines the experience we have in life. I want to talk a moment about this, the concept of enlightenment. We often hear, the spiritual people, they go to the mountain to find enlightenment. One of the great teachers said, he who comes to the mountain to find Zen, enlightenment, finds only the Zen that he brought with him. And so this principle of enlightenment is really about spiritual evolution. And we must understand that, because we live a material life based on a spiritual stimulation. The principle says, seek first the kingdom, consciousness. Seek first the consciousness, and all these things will be added unto you. So it's all about spiritual evolution. Your mind, the thought, the thing that you have between your ears, and then the real time, how you use the thing between your ears, how you use your mind, how you use your thoughts, how you use your efforts. That's why we call it the law of value. The principle of enlightenment says this: you must seek to find. You must knock to have the door open to you. You must ask to get the answers. And so what we're saying is, if you want to create the life of your desires, that thing that you want to be, do, and have, then it's a question of spiritual evolution. It's a question of seeking, of knocking, and of asking, because your spiritual evolution creates the material realization. The life that you're living right now is the materialization of the level of spirituality and consciousness you have in your mind right now. So if we look at this, then how do we use this most valuable asset that we have been given by the Creator? We have to seek ways to maximize the use of our time. We have to knock on the door of opportunity to find ways to express our time. We must ask questions to give us direction in life, so that we're always using every time, every moment of every day in the most effective way to get where we want to go. And so when we talk about time, our most valuable asset, I know each and every one of us on this call today, each and every one of us on Facebook, on Instagram, you have goals, you have desires, you have things that you want to be, do, and have. And whether and the extent to which you experience those desires depends on how you live your life, how you use real time. The clock time doesn't change, but the real time is what you do to create the life that you desire. We often say you live your life from moment to moment by using your time in the proper way. One misnomer you often hear, how do you spend your time? Well, that right there needs redefinition. When you spend something, it's gone. You invest time. So a step one here today is to never use the term spend time again. Use the term invest time, because whatever you give your time to is a seed for the life you will experience in the next and in the then. So if you spend your time in frivolous, unproductive endeavors, then the next and the then is not going to be what you really want it to be. Caveat: you have to know what you want it to be. Folks, everything that we talk, everything that we teach is based on knowing what you want. It's based on having goals in your life. It's based on having a vision of what you want your life to be. If you don't have that, none of this works. You know, the unique thing about being a human being is we have consciousness. We have a deep understanding of our purpose in the world. And if we execute that consciousness in a way to manifest our purpose, then we get great results. When we think about this now, the Creator gave us time. If we waste the time given us by the Creator, then we're like the servant who buried his talents. We dishonor the Creator, because we're saying that God, by whatever name, has given you this point in time and space, in the time and space continuum, and you did nothing with it. You see, the continuum also has certain underlying principles like change. So the time and space continuum is like a river, the river of time moving. And so when you're put on that river by the Creator, if you don't develop a sail, an attitude, if you don't develop a rudder, principles to steer your life, if you don't have an engine, a deep desire to go somewhere, to be something, to do something, then you just float along the river of time. Just like the turtles, the fish, the birds. See, that is the difference between man and animals. The animals live their life in accord with the principles for which they were created. God's clear about that. But men have been given this great talent of consciousness, this great talent of purpose. And what we do with it now is how we honor the Creator. A singer once said, I heard a singer say that she had done all she could to achieve success, but this was all that she had accomplished. She was a bit disheartened about her life. She was unhappy that after all the effort she had put forth, she still had not achieved the greatness that she saw or she desired for her success. The principle of spiritual evolution says this, that she had done all that she knew how to do at that point in consciousness. So when you know more, you can do more. And so for us today, those who are on this broadcast, those who are on Instagram, those who are on Facebook, I guarantee that you're facing some challenges, some disappointments, that you look at your life and like, man, I thought it was going to be better than this. I thought I was going to accomplish this. I saw myself on the great stage of the world, and here I am in my kitchen, listening to music, drinking coffee. The principle of enlightenment says to do more, you must be more. To be more, you must know more. What is the process of knowing more? You have to seek, you have to ask, You have to knock. And so wherever we are right now, we have the capacity to change that. The second law of success says, be not conformed to this world, but be you transformed by the renewing of your mind. So whatever your condition is right now, you already have the capacity to change it by changing your thinking. But this all takes place over time. You see, time is that equalizer. My aunt used to hate it. She said when she made her transition, she said, don't put on my program that sunrise, sunset thing. She said, that doesn't matter. The sunrise and the sunset does not matter at all. She said, what matters is the dash between. You've seen it before in these transitions. Sunrise this date, sunset that date, and then there's a dash between them. She said, forget the sunrise and sunset. It's the dash that makes the difference. It's how you use the talent of time that the Creator has given you. So if it's that simple, if whatever you're facing right now, you only have to seek more, you only have to ask more, you only have to knock more, why do we not experience the lives we desire? Why do we stay stuck? The answer is lack of faith. See, faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So if you have no things hoped for, if you have no goals, if you have nothing that you want to be, do, and have, then there's nothing to have any substance of. You really lose the gift that you were given by the Creator, being a human being with consciousness. So to proceed where we want to go in our lives requires faith. If we use the spiritual enlightenment principle, knowing that it works. If we use faith, having absolute faith that whatever we're experiencing right now, this is not where we're supposed to be. If we hit a wall, and many of us have hit walls, if you hit a rock, and many of us have hit rocks, if you fall into a hole, and many of us have fallen into holes, that you can still get out of it, go over it, go around it, if you have faith that you can get to the promised land. Once again, the promised land is that goal. Folks, if you don't have something you want to be, do, and have, if you're not clear about your goals and what you want to do with this life, with your life, then you're going to be flowing along the river of time, going hither, thither, and yon. So if we have faith, and we use the spiritual principle of enlightenment to use our most precious gift, time, so that we live our life from moment to moment, asking ourselves, what is the best use of our time right now when I consider my goals, my vision, and my purpose, then it's a natural evolutionary process that we will get there. We like to think of it as your time talent. Your time talent, this time talent that the Creator has given you, what are you going to do with it? So let's look at a process, basically a 6-step process. Step 1, evaluate how you're using your time now. Evaluate how you are investing your time now. Are you investing your time in learning more? Are you investing your time in doing more? Are you investing your time in building new relationships to help you get where you want to go? Are you investing your time in changing bad habits and replacing bad habits with good habits? How you use your time determines your experience of life. So that's step 1, to evaluate your time. How do you spend your time each day? And you've seen these time evaluation systems. Just to put it simply, you may make a list in 15-minute segments, and each 15 minutes make a commitment to write what you're doing that moment. Think about this. If you don't have the discipline to keep that list and to write every 15 minutes to write something, that's a part of the problem. You see, the habits either enhance us or undermine us. So just doing this, just having the discipline that every 15 minutes to look at your watch and write down what you're doing right now, what you did for the last 15 minutes. Another 15 minutes, look at your watch, write down what you did for the last. Just that exercise itself will be liberating. It can help take you from where you are to where you want to be, because now you can see how the time you are investing and what you're investing that time in each day from moment to moment. Step 2, to assign a time to every activity, to every conversation, to every interaction. In other words, when you begin to look at your day and the things that you must do during that day, once again, if you have no plan, if you don't have a written list of activities to be performed that day, none of this works. So you have got to have done the work first. Where we are right now, we're not doing walking lessons. Walking is when you don't have a goal, when you don't have your vision of what you want to be. We're talking flying lessons today. You got your goals. You're writing your plans. And I guarantee that many of you are doing that and still not getting the results you need. So this is how you turn it around. Evaluate your time. Assign a time to every activity, every conversation, every interaction. That way, you can now set yourself up to experience what I call completion. One of my great teachers was a teacher named Tiamo Raouf. I followed him around the continent of Africa to learn from him. And one of the things he said was, did you complete yourself? What's he talking about? And completing yourself meant that did you complete the task or the mission that you had set out to do today? Did you complete the task or the mission that you had set out to do this hour, this morning, this afternoon? When you assign a time to every conversation, every activity, then you can now prioritize to determine what needs to be done and what does not need to be done, which takes you to step number 3. To analyze what you want to do. And one of the things you realize is that 80% of the results in your life comes from 20% of the activities. So if you focus on those 20%, then you can magnify the results that you experience. That 80% of the stuff you do is probably redundant and half of it is unnecessary. I say this, invest at least 50% of your time each day in IPAs. I'm a network marketer, and an IPA is an income producing activity. You know, in business, especially in network marketing, when I used to train people in network marketing, folks would spend so much time organizing and setting up and lining up and neatening up their desk. But those were not income producing activities. When you focused on income producing activities, you got the results that you were seeking in your business. In life, when you focus on life income producing activities, in other words, the income you're seeking is the vision that you desire. So when you focus on goal producing activities, when you ask yourself that time question, does this activity at this point in time and space take me closer to my ultimate goal or further away? Does this activity at this point in time and space, does it impact where I'm going at all? You know, like what some of the young people say, I'm just chilling. Well, chilling is okay, except that you're chilling on the sea of life. And even though you're doing nothing, your boat is flowing along according to the current instead of according to your dreams. So invest at least 50% of your time. Focus on those goal-producing activities, those activities that produce the life that you desire. Number 4, this is a biggie, folks. Take 30 minutes each evening, each night to plan the following day. If there's one thing that can change everything in your life, is if before you go to bed at night and before you get tired, you know, one mistake we make sometimes is to wait until you're tired and then you're trying to plan the day tomorrow and you have sleep. To plan the day to plan your activities tomorrow, the night before, but early in the night where you still have your keen mind and your energy. That when you do that, you put your subconscious mind in a position to start working out what is necessary and creating the vibration. When you have a plan for tomorrow, tonight, just having that plan gives you a mindset. You're thinking about the goals. You're thinking about the things you want to do tomorrow and how you're going to do them and the time level you're going to do them in. Your subconscious mind starts a vibration that then begins to attract into your life all that you need to accomplish that you say you want to do tomorrow. I'm going to tell you folks, this is magic. Absolute magic. Step 5. Program your expectations. The principle says, where there's no vision, the people perish. So as you proceed along this journey of absolutely using your time in the most powerful way, program your expectations. In other words, constantly see the goals that you have, the vision that you have of yourself, and now program them so that they are congruent with your activities of the day. We often say, how do you eat an elephant? It's a 5,000-pound elephant. You certainly don't sit down at the table and start cutting him up. No, you break the elephant down into little pieces. You say you eat the elephant bite by bite. Don't focus on the 5 pounds. Focus on what's in your fork. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. That each day you take that step, you get there. So program your expectations so that you don't undermine your results. And then finally, number 6, keep your eye, your heart, and your feet on the prize. What do I mean? Keep your eye on the prize. Constantly keep the vision of what you want to be doing, have constantly in your mind, reading it over 3 and 4 times a day, reciting it in your subconscious mind, reciting it every time you think about it. So that the vision, your imagination is working for you. Keep your heart on the prize. Your desire is the fuel, the energy, the engine that makes everything work. Without desire, you'll never be able to overcome obstacles. And there always will be obstacles. Obstacles are a test to help us get better. So keep your heart on the prize. Keep that deep desire within you to be, do, and have that you say you want to be, do, and have. And then keep your feet on the prize. Scripture says, pray and move your feet. That you must always have an activity schedule, an activity program of doing things that must be done each day so that you can accomplish the things you desire. Folks, time is your most valuable asset. Real time, the way you invest your time is the key to your success. When you waste time, you dishonor the Creator by devaluing the ultimate gift. When you invest your time, use it effectively, you honor the Creator. And honoring the Creator is like priming the pump. When you pour a little water in the pump, you get a lot of water out. When you honor the Creator by using your time properly, you get greater results. 1 + 1 is more than 2. Follow the spiritual principle. Always be in an enlightenment mode of seeking, of knocking, of asking. Always be open and receptive to that which you need to know to get where you want to go. I'll say that again. Always be open and receptive to that which you need to know to get where you want to go. And then follow these steps. Evaluate how you spend your time each day. Assign a time to every activity, every interaction so that you can measure the priority and the results you get. Invest at least 50% of your time in activities that produce the results that you seek. Income producing activities, life producing activities, goal producing activities. Number 4, take 30 minutes each night before you go to bed, before you get tired, to plan out the day, the next day, tomorrow. Number 5, program your expectations. Don't set yourself up for failure by trying to do more than is possible at a particular time. Program your expectations by refining your vision through your imagination. And then finally, number 6, keep your eye, see the vision before you. Keep your heart, your emotions, your desire, and your feet, the activities that you do each day, steadily on the prize, knowing that the best is yet to come. And so it is. Whew, thank you so much for being here today. Each and every one of you who've listened today, I know that this will bless you. That time is your most valuable asset. I'd love for you to join us. I see we have Dawn and Sandra and some of our other members of the Success Mentorship Network on the Zoom meeting. And each and every one of you, I'd love for you to be a part of our discussion. When we complete this now, we're going to have a discussion. And go to our website, our Patreon membership site, www.patreon.com/Success Mentorship Network. It'll be in the link below this video. But join us, become a part of the Success Mentorship Network. You get access to all of our trainings, plus so much more. Plus you get to associate with other successful people who, like you, want to be what they want to be, do what they want to do, and have whatever they want to have, knowing that the best is yet to come. And so it is. Woo! Good morning, good morning. Let me unmute you and let me see. I can. Dawn, how are you today? Think you can unmute yourself? Hello, Dawn.
Hey, Dr. Harris. I'm good. How are you?
Oh, incredibly great. I can hear you. I can't see you, but I can hear you. Thanks for joining us today.
I am here.
Oh, okay. Beautiful, beautiful. Any thoughts, any sharings today?
Well, as you know, Dr. Harris, I've been with you for a while. So, everything that you shared is something that I know we have to consistently apply. Um, I think that's where people get, you know, stuck is that, we want to achieve things. And many of us, I mean, there's so much information out there. Um, But the thing is when it comes to the application, when it comes to the consistency, and when we see life challenges, they butt us, and somehow we get stuck in a rut, thinking, you know what, I don't know what to do here. A lot of time we need clarity because there's so many things going on in our head and in our environment that we don't take the time to stop and focus and knowing exactly what it is that we're going after. And that's why when you said about having that vision, it's so very important because, again, there's so much information bombarding our brains. There's so much things happening. There's corona and people losing their jobs, and people are really not sure what to do.
Yes.
But, you take a moment and really zone in, and as you say, it comes with having faith and that clarity, connecting with the spirit in order to find out what is it really that I am born to do. And, sometimes I think we look at other people, people like you, Dr. Harrison, might say, you know what? Oh my gosh, I can never do that. Or, there's some great advantage that you have or something, you had money or, your family and we always find these ways of excusing ourselves out of living our purpose.
Wow. That's
But
powerful.
yeah, I find we use it as an excuse as to why I can't, this is not going to happen for me because I didn't have that opportunity didn't present itself. But I am learning as you continue to pursue, and with focus and dedication and faith, that the relationships come, the resources come, the platform comes. You just have to have the patience, the faith, and the wherewithal to stick with it, Dr. Harris, because I'm telling you, I'm like, oh, sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm getting nowhere.
Yes, I
But,
know.
I know I've learned enough in this life to know that if God has given you a vision, um, you got to stick with it. No matter how long it takes, you got to stick with it.
Thank you so much. That is so powerful. That, and I think you've summed up the words for so many people, who've experienced things that, let me see, some of the words for so many people who've experienced different um, challenges, and I guess we just have to keep going. We just keep,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
yeah.
Thank you so much. That was so powerful. Hey, Sandra, how are you today? Dr. Rogers, welcome. How are you this morning? Let me see, I can unmute. Well, good, Dr. Rogers. Thank you.
I'm well, Dr. Harris. On the internet, on Facebook, it plays it immediately over again.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, I entered about 15 minutes in,
Uh-huh.
and as you can see, I began typing, and then after it concluded, it immediately played again. So it's playing from the beginning on my computer on Facebook.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah. I don't know how you come up with your messages. I guess you're talking to a lot of good people during the week and you assess what's going on with them, and then somewhere the spirit hits you and you come up with the right message at the right time for the right folks listening.
But thank you, Doc. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, as they say in church, when the joke is told, the one that's laughing the most, they understand the joke because the joke affects them.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, thank you so much. Time is that valuable asset, and I think the income producing activities, the goal producing activities, the life producing activities, that 80-20 rule applies even to that conversation. That if we do that 20%, then that's going to get us 80% of what we want in life. And I
Yes.
really appreciate you laying that out that way.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you so much. We
Yes, sir.
appreciate you. Yes. Hey,
Well, I'm using my time wisely this morning, so I'm gonna get off the phone and just listen in to the other comments before departing.
okay, Doc. Miss Sandra, can you unmute yourself? Hey, Miss Sandra. You have to touch your unmute button. Okay. All right, there you go. Hey, Sandra.
Yes.
All right, you got it.
Yes.
Yes, how are you today?
All right. Fine.
Any comments?
I would like to comment on the preparation, especially for women, before the next day. If you have children, it's even more important that you manage your time better. And the night before gives you the roadmap for the next day, because women will usually have many more tasks than men do to get prepared for the next day. So the IPA principle, the income producing activity, whether it's money or whether it's your job, education, or whatever your distribution might be in life that you are producing, or the IPA, or the whatever the product might be. I was in education, so every day I had to plan the night before my activity. I had a job which I was paid, but I wasn't a marketer, but I had to produce education the next day. And many times I would have to be at the TV station at 5 o'clock in the morning with an educational demonstration. I couldn't wait until 5 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning to do that. I had to prepare my clothing, my demonstration, my props, make sure that I had gas in the car to travel to the TV station. So in life, sometimes people do not do enough pre-planning or pre-preparation, and they think that it's okay to do this, and they have repetitive behavior over years and wonder why I'm not successful at what I'm doing. So that prior preparation is so, so important for everybody, even with children. When my daughter played music, she had an instrument. And every day she had to make sure that she took her instrument. So that instrument went in front of the door. So when she left, she had to either stumble it or open the door, and she would not forget her instrument. So if she did, she didn't play in the band. So it only took one time. So children can learn to change their behavior also if we teach them how to plan the night before.
Okay, thank you, Miss Sandra. Very good, thank you. All right, I think unless there's any other comments, and we're ready to wrap up. All right, then everybody's good. Doc Rogers, Dawn, you all good, so we can wrap up now? All right then.